I'd like to discuss a subject that is near and dear to my heart: conversational engagement. We have all experienced times when a difference of opinion on something significant causes some people to retreat from the conflict or debate and become non-participants, or seek out and align themselves with others that have a common perspective and gather information that supports their position. They mentally and conversationally live within this echo chamber. Now, we've all experienced this in personal interactions where a disconnect in communication remains and life goes on while the stalemate solidifies and develops a life of its own. I've been in the audience of many deathbed reconciliations where we celebrate, yet question why this could not have happened years before. But it also happens in our communities. I live in a community that is growing. Land is being developed, people are taking sides, positions are becoming entrenched, and everyone feels empowered within their chorus of constituents. Social media is filled with one-sided arguments that are wrapped in accusations and righteous anger. Elected officials are being recalled and now lawsuits, with more on the horizon. Communication broke down a long time ago, and a resolution appears elusive. Only now are people seeing the damage and the danger downstream. A lack of conversational engagement is frustrating, and I refuse to accept that this is the best we can do. But recognizing this Shakespearean tragedy might be the first step toward finding a more constructive path forward. It's an opportunity for individuals who can intervene and create the environment that foster authentic dialogue. Here's the pinch point. Only about 15-25% of people possess this mindset and skill. But here's the good news. If they are motivated and are positioned, they can bridge the chasm for all of us. So how does this relate to an organizational setting? Before we go there, here are some key thoughts. Most people are uncomfortable and unprepared to articulate and defend their opinions when they're on their own, when they feel they're the solitary target for disagreement. Instead, they only interact with people who echo their beliefs. They become compliant non-participants rather than active contributors. Absent intervention, these competing agendas will solidify their positions. But with facilitation, many of these individuals can become willing participants in meaningful dialogue. Organizations need skilled facilitators who create psychological safety, where employees share dissenting views, admit mistakes, and propose creative solutions without fear of retribution. When teams listen actively, question assumptions, and build on each other's ideas rather than defending territories, organizations unlock collective intelligence and make better decisions. Conversational engagement within organizations doesn't always happen naturally. It might require intentional intervention, and sometimes that has to come from outside the organizational structure. The business impact is measurable. Teams that foster healthy conversational engagement adapt more rapidly to change, accelerate individual development, and establish sustainable organizational momentum. Rather than mere transactional dialogue, conversational engagement creates collaborative thinking that translates directly into tangible outcomes. Why isn't this natural? Currently, most organizations work within a top-down structure. People will defer to authority or powerful personalities. This structure makes genuine dialogue feel like an unaffordable luxury. Individual performance and right answers are the expectations, not collaborative thinking and intellectual humility, where admitting uncertainty or changing position is not seen as the ultimate act of confidence. Without deliberate cultivation, productive dialogue feels forced and uncomfortable. Now, we can't rewire people, but we can reshape the environment where significant conversations can happen. So who are these conduits? Many times organizations have natural facilitators. They create environments that are the catalyst for conversational engagement. In some cases, they are in an HR role because they sit outside the organization's internal politics and power dynamics. However, in most cases, they come from outside the organization in the role of a consultant. The value of sitting outside the organization's internal politics and power dynamics enables you to start any discussion by focusing the conversation on the basics, by admitting what you don't yet understand. Ask genuine, curious questions and demonstrate comfort by saying, "I'm not sure, so help me think this through." This gives others permission to do the same. Start small, build momentum that gradually tackles more significant issues as people begin to find common ground and the conversation shifts toward deeper collaboration. You might ask everyone to get positive or get negative about a given position. Use your neutral position strategically. You can ask naive questions that employees can't. Why do you do it this way? Or what would happen if we tried the opposite? Because you're not expected to know the unspoken rules. This often puts the target on assumptions that insiders have stopped questioning. Facilitate rather than present. Instead of delivering solutions, guide the organization through discovering them. Ask follow-up questions that help people examine their own reasoning. What evidence would change your mind about that? Or how might someone from different departments see this differently? Or it seems like there's something we're not saying here. I cannot emphasize enough that your neutral status makes these observations less threatening. The key is modeling behavior to influence a cultural change where people within the organization actually talk and listen to each other. The encouraging news is that these skills can be learned and improved through training. Organizations that focus on dialogue facilitation, conflict mediation, and transparent engagement have shown that intentional practice can significantly increase these capabilities. Here's the encouraging truth. The bar is low and the opportunity is massive. Most organizations are starving for the kind of dialogue you can help create. You don't need a certification or years of training. You need curiosity, intentionality, and the courage to ask questions that others won't. Every conversation you facilitate creates ripples. Every time you model intellectual humility, you give others the permission to do the same. The skills are learnable, the impact is real. The organizations everywhere need people who can do this work. Whether you're inside an organization or coming in as an external voice, you have something valuable to offer. Start small, stay curious, and watch what happens. When people finally feel safe enough to really talk to each other, the world needs more of this, and you can be part of making it happen.